In the quaint coastal town of Seabrook, where the waves crashed against the rocky shore and the salty breeze filled the air, there stood an old lighthouse. The lighthouse, known as Stormwatch Beacon, had guided sailors safely to shore for centuries. It was a place of mystery and intrigue, its tall, weathered structure looming over the town like a silent guardian. Seabrook was a close-knit community, where everyone knew everyone else, and tales of the lighthouse had been passed down through generations. Some said it was haunted by the ghost of an old lighthouse keeper, while others believed it held hidden treasures. But for 16-year-old Emma, the lighthouse was a place of endless fascination and adventure. Emma lived with her parents and younger brother, Ben, in a charming cottage near the harbor. She was an adventurous and curious girl, with short, curly brown hair and bright blue eyes that sparkled with excitement. Her favorite pastime was exploring the shoreline and discovering hidden coves and tide pools filled with marine life. One stormy evening, as the rain poured down and the wind howled, Emma and Ben sat by the fireplace, listening to their father tell stories about the lighthouse. Their father, Captain Jack, was a retired sailor who had spent many years at sea and had a treasure trove of stories about his adventures. "The lighthouse has always been a beacon of hope for sailors," Captain Jack said, his voice filled with reverence. "But it's also a place of mystery. They say that on stormy nights, you can see a strange light coming from the top, even when the beacon is not lit." Emma's eyes widened with curiosity. "What do you think it is, Dad? Is it really haunted?" Captain Jack chuckled. "Who knows, Emma? There are many things in this world that we can't explain. But one thing is for sure, the lighthouse has a story to tell." That night, as Emma lay in bed, she couldn't stop thinking about the lighthouse and the mysterious light. She decided that she would investigate and uncover the secrets of Stormwatch Beacon. The next morning, she shared her plan with Ben, who was eager to join her on the adventure. "Let's go after school," Ben suggested. "We can bring our flashlights and some snacks. It'll be like a real expedition." Emma agreed, and they spent the day in eager anticipation. As soon as school ended, they grabbed their gear and headed for the lighthouse. The sky was overcast, and a light drizzle fell as they made their way along the rocky path that led to the beacon. The lighthouse stood tall and imposing, its whitewashed walls weathered by years of exposure to the elements. The entrance was locked, but Emma had found an old, rusty key hidden in a drawer in their cottage, a key that she believed would open the door. With a sense of excitement and trepidation, Emma inserted the key into the lock and turned it. The door creaked open, revealing a narrow staircase that spiraled up into the darkness. Emma and Ben switched on their flashlights and began their ascent, their footsteps echoing off the stone walls. As they climbed higher, they noticed strange symbols and markings etched into the walls. The air grew cooler, and they could hear the distant sound of the waves crashing against the rocks. Finally, they reached the top of the lighthouse and stepped into the lantern room. The room was filled with old, dusty equipment and a large, glass lens that had once guided ships safely to shore. Emma walked over to the window and looked out at the stormy sea, her heart pounding with excitement. "Look, Emma," Ben called out, pointing to a small, hidden compartment in the floor. "There's something here." Emma knelt down and pried open the compartment, revealing a worn leather journal and a small, intricately carved box. She carefully opened the journal and began to read the faded, handwritten entries. The journal belonged to the old lighthouse keeper, Thomas Gray, who had served at Stormwatch Beacon many years ago. The entries detailed his daily life, the ships he guided, and the storms he weathered. But there were also entries about a mysterious light that appeared during storms, a light that seemed to come from within the lighthouse itself. Emma's heart raced as she read the final entry. It described a powerful storm, the brightest light Thomas had ever seen, and a mysterious visitor who had appeared in the lantern room. The visitor had given Thomas the carved box and told him to keep it safe, for it held the key to the lighthouse's secret. With trembling hands, Emma opened the carved box. Inside, she found a small, glowing crystal and a piece of parchment with more strange symbols. The crystal emitted a soft, pulsating light, filling the room with an ethereal glow. "Wow," Ben whispered, his eyes wide with wonder. "What do you think it is?" Emma examined the crystal, feeling its warmth in her hand. "I don't know, but I think it has something to do with the mysterious light Thomas wrote about. We need to figure out what these symbols mean." Over the next few days, Emma and Ben dedicated themselves to deciphering the symbols on the parchment. They spent hours in the town library, poring over old books and maps, trying to find any clues that would help them unlock the lighthouse's secret. One evening, as they were studying the symbols, Emma had a sudden realization. "Ben, look at this." The symbols on the parchment matched the markings on the walls of the lighthouse. "I think they're a map." Excited by their discovery, they returned to the lighthouse the next day and began to follow the map. The symbols led them to various hidden compartments and secret passages within the lighthouse, each one revealing more pieces of the puzzle. Finally, the map led them to a concealed door in the basement of the lighthouse. With a sense of anticipation, they opened the door and stepped into a hidden chamber. The chamber was filled with ancient artifacts, strange devices, and more glowing crystals. At the center of the chamber stood a tall, ornate pedestal with a crystal sphere on top. The sphere glowed with a bright, otherworldly light, casting shimmering reflections on the walls. Emma and Ben approached the pedestal, feeling a sense of awe and wonder. As they touched the crystal sphere, the room was suddenly filled with a blinding light. When the light faded, they found themselves standing in a different place, a vast, underground cavern filled with glowing crystals and shimmering pools of water. "Where are we?" Ben asked, his voice filled with amazement. "I think we're in another dimension," Emma replied, her eyes wide with wonder. "The lighthouse must be a portal to this place." As they explored the cavern, they discovered that it was inhabited by ethereal beings made of light. The beings welcomed them and explained that they were the guardians of the lighthouse, tasked with protecting the portal and the crystal that powered it. The guardians revealed that the crystal Emma had found in the carved box was a key to the portal, allowing them to travel between dimensions. They explained that the lighthouse had been built over the portal to protect it from those who sought to misuse its power. Emma and Ben listened in awe as the guardians told them about the history of the portal and the lighthouse. They learned that the mysterious light that appeared during storms was a result of the portal's energy, and that Thomas Gray had been chosen as a guardian to protect it. The guardians thanked Emma and Ben for their bravery and dedication in uncovering the lighthouse's secret. They entrusted them with the responsibility of protecting the portal and the crystal, ensuring that the power of the lighthouse would be used for good. With a newfound sense of purpose, Emma and Ben returned to Seabrook, their hearts filled with the knowledge and wonder of their incredible adventure. They continued to explore the lighthouse and its mysteries, always guided by the wisdom of the Guardians and the legacy of Thomas Gray. As the years passed, Emma and Ben became the new keepers of Stormwatch Beacon, dedicating their lives to protecting the portal and the secrets of the lighthouse. They shared their knowledge with the people of Seabrook, teaching them about the importance of the lighthouse and its magical history. The story of Emma, Ben, and the mysterious lighthouse became a cherished legend in Seabrook, a tale of courage, discovery, and the enduring power of the unknown. The lighthouse stood as a beacon of hope and wonder, its light guiding sailors and adventurers alike. And so, the legacy of Stormwatch Beacon lived on, inspiring future generations to seek out the mysteries of the world and to protect the magic that lies within.